Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Dawn, and today I'm going to talk about something I feel like is really important, something I feel like is super relevant, and that is why my family and I have decided to move out of the American South. I know that it's like, something that people are interested in because people ask me about it all the time whenever I tell them in person, so I figured, why don't I make a video? So that is what I'm going to be doing today. So if you guys like it, give this video a thumbs up. And I know I don't have a lot of videos, but if you could subscribe, that would be totally awesome. Anyway, I'm going to get into it because, yeah, it's really hot in my kitchen today and I want to spend more time in here. Okay, so like I said, I am going to talk about something today because I just can't even function to actually get things done. I might stretch and fold my dough during this process, but I also have some laundry here that if I feel like my hands are too idle, I will start folding. But hopefully I can just get through this and just address something that I just been wanting to talk about for a really long time. So we live in the South in the United States. By we, I mean myself and my husband, and we have a young child. We all live here, and over, honestly, the last decade, I've been wanting to leave the South for many reasons, and now especially now that we have a child, and in this current political climate in the United States, we really want to leave the American South. And I think it's essential that we do so as soon as we can. So our goal is at the beginning of 2026 to relocate to a state in the North. Well, technically it's not the North. I'm from Maryland, so we'll be relocating there for whatever amount of time it takes for us to get all our paperwork and everything in order so that we then can travel throughout the world. My husband is an EU citizen, so we have options. We don't have to stay in the United States, nor do we have the desire to do so. But in this video, we're just going to be, I'm just going to be addressing why it is we are leaving the American South. Alright. Okay, so I have some notes. I'm going to look onto them and go down the list. I have 10 reasons why we are leaving the American South. So I'll just go by the order that I have here in my notes. And I did try to put them, what I feel is more important is at the top, and the least important point to make will be at the bottom of the list. So the first one is safety. My husband and I both agree that we as a family unit will feel safer or be safer up north. I have family there. Like I said, I'm from Maryland. And we feel like further north there's less aggression towards people of color. We know it still exists. It is the United States. We're not going to escape it completely, but we do feel like it'll be lesser than down here. Especially because we are an interracial couple, we feel like we get it, twofold. Me being a black woman and just the hatred that, people direct at us, and, all that BS that we have to deal with. That is the number one reason why we want to leave the South. The second reason is human rights violations. I'm actually going to read this. The American South is notorious for passing legislation that violates a wide range of human rights and seeks to continue to do so. In the state we currently reside, women are have very little access to proper reproductive care, including the right to choose, aka the right to an abortion. There's laws that limit gender affirming care, as well as violations against children affirming their own identities. Children just have no like they have less rights here, which I don't think is okay. Children are people. And then as well as firearms are allowed in school, on school premises. And there is a crazy amount of I don't want to say the word, but people who do things that are inappropriate to other people that they didn't ask for. There's a wild number of them everywhere, but like especially where we live. So that I felt like it was important to read. I wrote that. I feel like, you know, those are very strong reasons to want to relocate to a different place. I don't think that you should stay somewhere that you don't feel safe, and I don't feel like you should stay somewhere that goes against your morals. I believe that everyone should have basic human needs and basic human rights. I do not see someone who is houseless as a criminal. I don't think that it's a crime to be poor. And here where I live, people definitely pass legislation where that is clear, that they think that if you're poor, that is a crime and they need to monetize your body in some way, shape, or form. So that is a very, very big reason why I would like to move. And I don't understand why some people just don't understand that simple thing. Poor people are not criminals just for being poor. You know, that's not right. We're supposed to take care of each other, and I just don't feel like people do that here as a whole. There's definitely some community members who are out here doing the work. There's just not enough of them, or it's too hard for them to be able to do so. And I just don't like that. Okay, so the third reason that I have on my list is climate and quality of life. The climate here is hot. It is the South, it is hot, but it is hot too long, way too long. Therefore, for me and for a lot of people, a lot of my friends, I feel like our quality of life is not as great as what it could be, because we're not able to explore the outdoors for a majority of the year. A great big majority, like 6 months out of the year, it's excruciatingly hot. So hot, we are definitely complaining about it. And I know, like, you know, there's blizzards up north, there's snow, whatever, but here there's hurricanes, and I feel like it's a lot easier to prepare for a blizzard than it is for a hurricane. Preparing for a hurricane is like crazy work. You have to protect your home, and you have to get to safety. If you are in a flood zone, you cannot stay there. You have to move, and you have to move your vehicles or anything like that. And the way that homeowners insurance is set up, nothing is going to be covered at the end of it. If a tree did not fall on your house during a hurricane, you are screwed. And that's just that. So there's no point in purchasing property. It does not hold any value. If it gets damaged and it's not something like a tree fell on your house, you will not be able to get coverage for it. I learned that through everyone else who owns a home and had to deal with it during our last hurricane. Fortunately for us, we are renters here, and I never thought that that would be a good thing, but it is. So my fourth reason on the list is better politics. Better politics. I could say that. Yeah, better politics. Go up north, the politics are better. People have rights. All of their rights are typically intact, especially women, trans people, people who are married to the same sex. Everyone has their rights. That's great. Here, women have less rights. Here, trans people have less rights. Do I love that? Absolutely not. Do I want to be in a government that is increasingly infringing on human rights? No. So, again, safety. We come back to that. It's not safe here. Therefore, it is our main reason why we want to leave. Reason number 5 is education. The education system here is so bad that most teachers homeschool their children. And people who have been teachers homeschool their children. The school systems are not great. There are great schools, but as a whole, no. Education is much better in the state of Maryland, just period. They have really good education systems, some of which are in the top of the entire country. Do I want to send my child to public school or school in this country as of now, current day? Absolutely not. We have always planned to homeschool. I think it's the right choice for our child. Of course, that could change from year to year. People grow, people change, and we are flexible. Right now, homeschool is what's best for us. Our child needs space and needs freedom of expression and an environment where they are able to do so. So that's why we're choosing homeschool. We are not religious people. I guess we would be considered secular. But reason number 6 is a big one. It's access to better health care and support. So from research, northern states tend to have better health care systems and provide better health care in general. So people are able to access better health care as well because they've extended Medicaid and all of those things like that. Our health care should be free anyway, but in this country it is not, which is why we do not want to stay here, because this country goes against so many human rights. It's ridiculous, but it is a main factor why we want to move up north. If we have to pay for our health care, we want it to actually be decent. I have gone to the doctor so many times where they just tell me things and they don't explain it, and it really bothers me, and I'm pretty sure they do that for a whole host of reasons, but mostly because they're terrible at their job. Reason number 7 is more opportunities, and with more opportunities comes with great networking, and possibly, most likely, the compensation will be better, whether that be monetary compensation or something else. Bartering, trades, being able to collaborate with people that you really want to work with. I feel like that is definitely a great reason to want to relocate in general. If you want to move to work with people that fit what you want to do in life, I think that that's a wonderful reason to relocate for anyone, not just us. Number 8 is people can fight me if they want to, but it's true. It's actually more affordable because of the square footage. There's more square footage up north because basements and sometimes attics. So if you look at a house here or around where we live, they have bungalows. They are 1-story. Most of them don't have attics that you can access for actual space. Therefore, the square footage is lower, and yeah, it's cheaper. These houses around here are easily like 5-something, and most of them only have 1 bathroom, and you're lucky if there's 3 bedrooms. And up north, if you want to buy a house that's 5-something, like if you want to live in an area like Towson Town Center, which is out, it's in Baltimore, but it's like not in the inner city. It's like one of the neighborhoods in the county, I believe. The houses are expensive around there. They're easily in the upper fives, but guess what? There's more square footage in general because most of them are 2 stories. You know, the main floor and then the floor where the bedrooms are, and then you have what? A basement. More square footage is actually cheaper. Number 9 is that you are more connected, and by that I mean here where we live, it takes hours just to get to another major city, like 5. 3 to, you know, some other cities that are closer by. But in Maryland, it takes less time to get to New York City. And that's in a whole nother state. So you're just more connected. It's cheaper. The international flights are cheaper. I feel like it's like here we live in the boonies. It takes forever to get everywhere. Whereas when we move to Maryland, it's way more connected. We could even drive to, of course we can drive to Canada from here, but it's going to take forever. But we can drive to Canada and be in there within, you know, a good amount of time if we wanted to. And I think that that's great. I just love that we can hop on a train and be in New York, or we can hop in a train and be in Montreal. I think it's a wonderful thing. And I also like that if we wanted to, we could drive to Philly, we could drive to DC. Not right now, but in the future, we could drive to DC once the world is just, makes a little bit more sense, if y'all know what I mean. So I just really love that. I think that it will create, I don't know, I just think, especially for a family that wants to homeschool, I just think living in a place like that is much better for our child's education, because we can drive and literally see things in person that we might be teaching them. And I think that that is wonderful. And last but not least, number 10 on my list is culture. I just feel like it's harder to have a wonderful cultural experience in a place that seeks to displace people who create the culture. That happens everywhere. It's called gentrification. But the way they do it down here is a whole nother ball game. They just don't care. They just don't care. They complain. They price people out. The landlords can do whatever they want. It's just, it's lawless and crazy. But up north, I feel like it's a lot easier to feel like you are part of something, because everything is so much more connected and you have more access to everything. Educational sources, outdoor green spaces, bigger cities. Just, I don't know, it just feels like when I was up north, it was just, I could access more. And here also there's no seasons, so I really hate that. I know that was like number 3, but come on, fall is dreamy. So that is the reason why we are moving out of the American South. Well, 10 of the reasons. I have so many more reasons, but yeah, that's the reasons that I have written down that I felt were the most important to me. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. If you and your family are relocating, you know, you can share that or you cannot share that. There's a lot of people that are advocating that Americans move to Canada. We're looking into that as well. But right now, we're just looking to get my passport to Greece. And all of that has to do, because that's where my husband is from. So, yeah. we're ready to go. If you're ready to go, if you live in the South and you're ready to go, let's connect. Let's talk. Maybe if we're going around the same area, we can meet up in person. It'd be great to, meet some other people who have had similar experiences. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because that's just really weighing heavy on my mind. And I'm going to do another video about why we want to leave the United States, but I just felt like sharing this is important because I know some people feel like they're obligated to stay places and try to fix them even though they aren't the reason why it's broken in the first place. And I don't believe that. I feel like if you don't feel safe, you can go. Absolutely, 100%. So that's the end of the video. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to try to get some work done. I didn't even fold these clothes. But I wanted to keep it short. And hopefully it is. I don't know. I have to edit this thing now. I will see you in the next one.